This is Lesson 113 in Saxon's second edition Algebra 1/2 book. This lesson is on commission and profit. Okay, commission, let's deal with that first. Most of the time, when you have a job in sales, you're paid a base salary, which is usually fairly low. And then on top of that, you're paid a commission, which is a percentage on everything that you sell. Now, companies do this because it encourages the person to sell more so they can add more to their base salary and make more money. So here's an example problem. A sales rep was paid a base salary of $300 a month. He was also paid a commission of 10% on everything he sold. If he sold $26,000 worth of merchandise in 1 month, what was his paycheck? Alright, 10% of $26,000 is $2,600. So his commission would be $2,600. Then you would add his base salary to that of $300 for a total of $2,900 that month. Now, we learned about profit and we learned about markup and markdown a couple lessons ago. And markup, remember, is you buy it for a certain price and then you mark it up a certain percentage so that you can resell it and make money. But not every bit of that markup is profit, because business owners have things, expenses that they have to pay, like rent or a mortgage on their building. They have light bills, water bills. They have to pay their employees. They have to pay their taxes and insurance and all of that. So profit is actually what is left over after all the expenses have been paid. So look at this example. A store owner marks up her merchandise 40%. Her expenses are $5,200 a month. If she paid $16,000 for the goods sold in 1 month, what was her profit? Well, that $16,000 was marked up 40%, which was $6,400. Now, we can't count the $16,000. She's already paid that out. But she marked that up $6,400. So that would be what she made over what she paid for the merchandise. But her expenses are $5,200, so we have to subtract that from that $6,400. So her actual profit then was $1,200. Okay, so not a very difficult lesson, I don't think. Let's do a couple of practice problems and we'll be done for today. Alright, A says a sales representative got a base salary of $274 a month. She was paid a 7% commission. If she sold $20,000 worth of merchandise, how much money did she make for the month? Alright, she's got $20,000 times 7% equals $1,400. And then when you add in her base salary of $274, her total for that month would have been $1,674. Isn't that easy? Okay, a store owner purchased $200,000 of merchandise and sold it at a markup of 4%. So the first thing we have to do is find out what 4% of 200,000 is. So when you do the math, that is going to equal $8,000, more than she paid for the merchandise, or he. If his expenses totaled $5,500, what was his profit? We're going to subtract that out. His profit was actually $2,500, so he had a good month that month. All right, good job. I'll see you back next time for lesson 114.